Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to begin with a simple question. Have you ever looked at yourself carefully enough to recognize how blessed you truly are? Sometimes we become so busy fulfilling responsibilities, healing others and holding the world together that we forget to see the divine strength placed within us. So today, let me remind you, if you carry these 8 signs, you are a woman truly blessed by God. A woman who forgives with strength carries a kind of grace that cannot be learned from textbooks or borrowed from others. It is something shaped by experience, molded by challenges, and strengthened by her relationship with the divine. Forgiveness for her is not a sign of surrender. It is a sign of emotional maturity, spiritual depth, and courageous wisdom. People often misunderstand forgiveness, assuming that it means forgetting the pain or allowing others to repeat their mistakes. But a blessed woman understands that forgiveness is not about erasing what happened. It is about releasing what is heavy. She knows that holding on to anger does not punish the other person. It only chains her spirit, and a chained spirit can never rise. So she chooses to break those chains, not because the other person deserves it, but because her peace does. This strength is not something she wakes up with, it is something she earns. It is a result of days spent crying in silence, nights spent questioning life, and countless moments where she had every reason to give up, yet chose not to. The world often applauds loud victories, but God recognizes silent battles. And one of the greatest silent battles a woman fights is the decision to forgive when her heart feels broken. She understands that forgiveness does not excuse the behavior. It elevates her above it. It allows her to reclaim control over her emotions, her reactions, and her life. She refuses to let bitterness take root in her heart because she knows that bitterness destroys the container that holds it. A woman blessed by God forgives with clarity, not confusion. She does not forgive blindly, she forgives wisely. She learns the lesson, sets the boundary, and protects her heart without building walls around it. She understands that she can forgive someone and still create distance. She can let go of anger without letting go of self-respect. She can move forward without carrying the weight of resentment. This balance, this rare ability to pair softness with strength, is what makes her remarkable. Forgiveness also reflects her trust in God's justice. She knows she does not need to fight every battle, prove every point, or correct every person. She hands over her pain to the divine, believing that what is meant for her will never be taken away, and what is not meant for her will fall away no matter how tightly she holds it. This faith allows her to forgive even when apologies never come. It allows her to replace revenge with peace. It allows her to rise above situations meant to break her and instead become stronger because of them. Her forgiveness inspires others. People watch her and wonder how she maintains her dignity in moments that would shatter most. They wonder how she smiles after betrayal, how she remains gentle after being hurt, how she stays compassionate in a world that often rewards cruelty. But her secret is simple. She chooses to live with an open heart, not a hardened one. She understands that love, kindness, and forgiveness are not weaknesses. They are the highest expressions of strength. In the end, a woman who forgives with strength is not defined by what others did to her, but by how powerfully she rose beyond it. She becomes a symbol of resilience, a reflection of divine grace, and a reminder that forgiveness is not something she does for others. It is something she does for herself. A woman who protects her inner peace understands that tranquility is not something that simply happens. It is something she must intentionally cultivate, guard, and honor. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless expectations, she realizes that peace is her most priceless asset. It is the foundation of her clarity, the anchor of her emotions, and the fuel that keeps her moving with grace. She knows that without inner peace, even the most beautiful moments can feel heavy, and with inner peace, even the most difficult ones become manageable. This awareness does not come from a place of detachment, but from wisdom. wisdom earned through experience, reflection, and spiritual growth. She has learned that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion deserves her attention. There was a time when she may have tried to please everyone, explain herself endlessly, or justify her decisions to those who never truly understood her. But with maturity, she discovered that peace is far more valuable than winning arguments or seeking unnecessary validation. She chooses silence over chaos, understanding that silence is not weakness but strength. It is a sign of self-control and emotional intelligence, a reminder that she does not need to respond to everything that disturbs her. Protecting her inner peace also means being selective about who she allows into her life. She knows that the people she surrounds herself with play a significant role in the quality of her emotional world. She distances herself from individuals who thrive on drama, negativity, or manipulation. She recognizes that her time and energy are sacred, and she refuses to waste them on relationships that drain her spirit. Instead, she keeps close those who bring calmness, positivity, and sincerity. She values conversations that inspire rather than exhaust, and relationships that uplift rather than burden. Her boundaries are not walls, they are filters. Filters that allow in love and protect her from harm. A blessed woman understands that emotional stability is a choice she must renew daily. She practices self-care not as a trend but as a necessity. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, quiet reflection, nature, or meaningful conversations, she prioritizes moments that realign her mind and soothe her heart. She knows that a peaceful mind makes wiser decisions, a peaceful heart loves more deeply, and a peaceful soul radiates confidence without saying a word. This inner stability reflects in the way she walks, speaks, and interacts with the world around her. She also realizes that protecting her peace does not mean avoiding challenges. Instead, it means approaching challenges with a calm and centered mindset. Life will test her through loss, disappointment, misunderstandings, and unexpected setbacks. But instead of reacting impulsively, she pauses, breathes, and processes. She trusts that panic does not solve problems, but composure does. This serenity makes her resilient in ways that even she sometimes underestimates. Another key element of her peace is her ability to let go of what she cannot control. She refuses to dwell on the past or worry excessively about the future. She focuses on the present moment, choosing to grow through it rather than resist it. She understands that control is an illusion and surrender is a form of strength. By releasing unrealistic expectations, she creates space for acceptance and healing. She trusts in God's timing, knowing that everything falls into place when she is aligned with purpose rather than pressure. Ultimately, a woman who protects her inner peace becomes a force of stability in a chaotic world. Her calmness influences others, her presence brings comfort, and her clarity inspires confidence. She becomes an example of what it looks like to live with intention and wisdom. Her peace is not merely the absence of noise, it is the presence of strength, understanding, and divine balance within her. A woman who rises every time life knocks her down embodies a strength that cannot be manufactured or imitated. It is born from the deepest parts of her spirit. She does not rise because everything is easy for her. She rises because something within her refuses to be defeated. She understands that setbacks are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to rediscover who she truly is. Life tests her, not to break her spirit, but to reveal it. And every time she stands back up, she becomes a little wiser, a little stronger, and far more resilient than before. Her resilience is not loud or attention-seeking. It often happens in quiet moments when nobody is watching. It happens at 2 a.m. when she wipes her tears and reminds herself that giving up is not an option. It happens when she chooses positivity despite the weight of her circumstances. It happens when she keeps moving forward even when the path ahead looks uncertain. She knows that strength is not measured by the absence of pain, but by her ability to keep going despite it. Many people misunderstand resilience, assuming it means she never struggles, never falls, or never doubts herself. But a truly resilient woman is not someone who avoids suffering. She is someone who refuses to let suffering define her. She understands that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. When life disappoints her, instead of drowning in frustration, she looks for the lesson hidden beneath the difficulty. She has trained her mind to ask, what is life teaching me right now? Rather than, why is this happening to me? This shift in perspective transforms her obstacles into stepping stones. She becomes a student of her own experiences, learning from every heartbreak, every loss, every rejection, and every delayed dream. Her growth is intentional, and her spirit is unbreakable. A woman who rises is not afraid to start again. She knows that beginnings are not failures, they are opportunities. Even when she feels tired or overwhelmed, she begins again with faith in her heart and determination in her mind. She carries with her the knowledge that every sunrise brings a new chance to rebuild, to heal, and to rise above what once tried to hold her down. She honors her journey by embracing both the highs and the lows, understanding that each phase plays an essential role in shaping her character. What makes her exceptional is her ability to remain composed even when her world feels unstable. She may break down for a moment, but she never stays broken. She knows when to cry, when to rest, and when to gather her strength. Her resilience is not about ignoring emotions, but about confronting them with honesty. She gives herself permission to feel, yet she never allows those feelings to control her future. This emotional intelligence protects her from collapsing under pressure. People admire her, sometimes without realizing why. They see her move through life with a strength that seems almost supernatural. They witness her calmly navigating storms that would have overwhelmed others. But what they don't see are the countless moments of prayer, reflection, and self-reassurance that build her courage from within. Her faith, whether in God, in destiny, or in her own abilities, anchors her through the darkest seasons of life. She rises because she believes that every hardship eventually leads to something better, something meaningful. Her ability to rise becomes a source of hope for others. She becomes a reminder that even in life's toughest chapters, there is always room for transformation. She inspires those around her to believe in second chances, in healing, and in the possibility of change. Her journey teaches others that resilience is not a rare gift, it is a choice she makes every single day. In every fall, she discovers a new version of herself. In every rise, she becomes stronger than she ever imagined. A woman who loves deeply and feels compassionately carries a kind of emotional intelligence that sets her apart in a world often driven by haste, indifference, and self-preservation. Her love is not ordinary. It is intentional, thoughtful, and rooted in sincerity. She does not give her heart halfway. When she cares completely. When she supports someone, she does it wholeheartedly. This quality is not a sign of fragility, but a reflection of her strength. It takes courage to love with openness in a world that frequently disappoints, but she chooses to lead with compassion because she understands that love has the power to heal, transform, and elevate everyone it touches. Her compassion is not limited to the people she knows. It extends to strangers, to those who are struggling silently, and even to those who may not seem deserving. She possesses a rare ability to feel what others feel. She listens not only with her ears but with her heart. She notices the unspoken pain behind someone's smile, the fatigue behind their eyes, and the hesitation in their voice. Her empathy allows her to offer comfort without judgment and support without expectation. Such depth of feeling is often misunderstood by those who do not recognize its value, but she knows that her tenderness is not a weakness, it is a gift. This emotional generosity comes from a place of deep understanding. She has experienced her own share of hurt, disappointment, and heartbreak. Instead of allowing these experiences to harden her, she transforms them into wisdom. She understands pain intimately, which is why she strives to prevent others from feeling it unnecessarily. Her history becomes a bridge through which she connects with people on a profound level. She treats others with kindness because she knows firsthand how much even a small kindness can matter in moments of darkness. A woman who loves deeply does not love recklessly. She loves with awareness. She pays attention to where she invests her energy and to whom she entrusts her heart. She has learned that genuine love does not diminish her, but nourishes her. She gives without losing herself and cares without abandoning her own needs. She finds balance between nurturing others and protecting her own emotional well-being. Her compassion includes herself, which is why she knows when to step back, when to heal, and when to create healthy boundaries. This self-respect enhances her ability to love others authentically. Her presence brings comfort to those around her. People naturally gravitate toward her because they feel safe in her company. They sense that she will not judge them harshly or dismiss their struggles. In her presence, they feel heard, valued, and understood. This is the power of a compassionate woman. She becomes a sanctuary in a world where people often feel unseen. Her warmth has the ability to soften even the hardest hearts and restore hope in those who thought they had lost it. She offers love not only through words, but through her actions. In small gestures, in moments of patience, in smiles offered at the right time, she spreads positivity effortlessly. She encourages others, celebrates their victories, and stands beside them in their difficulties. Her loyalty is unwavering, not because she feels obligated, but because kindness is part of her nature. She builds connections that are meaningful, relationships that are rooted in honesty, and bonds that uplift the spirit. Her compassionate heart makes her a silent healer. She may not always realize the magnitude of her impact, but her influence is often felt long after she leaves a room. She touches lives in ways she does not recognize. Her ability to love deeply allows her to create an atmosphere where others feel inspired to become better versions of themselves. Through her empathy, she teaches people that vulnerability is not something to fear, but something to embrace with courage. In a world that sometimes celebrates emotional coldness, she remains a reminder that love is still humanity's greatest strength. Her depth, her kindness, and her compassion do not make her fragile, they make her extraordinary. A woman who trusts God's timing and refuses to fear the unknown carries within her a remarkable sense of calm and confidence. She understands that life is not a race and destiny is not something that can be rushed. Her strength comes from her ability to surrender gracefully to the flow of time, believing that everything will unfold exactly when it is meant to. This trust is not blind. It is built on countless moments where she has witnessed hardships turn into blessings and delays transform into divine protection. She has learned that what seems like a setback today may be the very thing that saves her tomorrow. This perspective allows her to remain composed even when things don't go according to her plans. She does not panic when doors close or when opportunities slip away. Instead, she sees these moments as signs that something better is being prepared for her. She understands that divine timing is always precise, never too early, never too late. Even during seasons of waiting, she chooses patience over frustration. Waiting does not weaken her, it strengthens her faith. While others may rush, she listens to the rhythm of her life, trusting that the right blessings will arrive when she is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually ready to receive them. Her trust in timing does not mean she is passive. She takes action, makes efforts, and works hard toward her goals. But after doing her part, she releases the outcome. She knows that worrying endlessly will not change anything, and forcing things before their time will only create unnecessary chaos. This balance between effort and surrender is what makes her wise. She understands that true control comes not from holding tightly, but from letting go when necessary. This mindset gives her a sense of steadiness that many admire, but few understand. A woman who trusts divine timing also embraces uncertainty with courage. The unknown does not frighten her, it interests her. She sees it as a space filled with possibilities rather than threats. She knows that clarity doesn't always come at the beginning of the journey. Sometimes she must step forward with faith, trusting that each step will reveal the next. Her confidence is not rooted in knowing the future, but in knowing that she will be guided through it. This inner assurance becomes her anchor during life's unpredictable storms. When challenges arise, she does not immediately assume the worst. Instead, she looks for purpose within the situation. She asks herself what lesson she is meant to learn and what growth this moment is trying to offer. Rather than resisting change, she adapts to it. She understands that life's transitions are not meant to break her, but to shape her. This ability to see meaning in uncertainty allows her to remain calm even when others are overwhelmed. Her trust in timing also extends to relationships, opportunities, and personal dreams. She knows that the right people will enter her life when the moment is right, not a minute sooner. She does not chase love or friendships out of fear of being alone. She values companionship, but understands that rushed connections rarely lead to authentic bonds. Similarly, she does not force success out of desperation. She grows steadily, improving herself day by day, trusting that her dreams will align with her efforts at the perfect time. This trust makes her emotionally resilient. She is not easily shaken by delays or disappointments because she knows they often contain hidden blessings. Her calmness becomes her strength. She approaches each day with hope, believing that even if she doesn't understand the journey right now, she will one day look back and realize why everything happened the way it did. A woman like this becomes a source of inspiration for everyone around her. People admire her peaceful confidence, her patience, and her ability to remain grounded in uncertain times. Her trust in divine timing makes her a symbol of grace, a reminder that when you believe in a higher plan, every moment of life becomes meaningful, every wait becomes purposeful, and every unknown becomes an opportunity for something extraordinary to unfold. A woman who inspires others simply by being herself carries a rare and exceptional presence, one that illuminates rooms without trying, comforts hearts without speaking, and motivates others without even realizing it. Her influence is not rooted in grand gestures or loud declarations. It comes from her authenticity, the quiet strength she embodies, and the values she lives by every day. She doesn't seek attention, validation, or applause. In fact, she often underestimates her own impact, unaware that the way she handles challenges, communicates with kindness, and carries herself with dignity becomes a source of inspiration for anyone who observes her. Her authenticity is her greatest gift. She does not pretend to be someone she is not, nor does she mold herself to fit expectations or trends. Instead, she stands firm in who she is, valuing honesty over perfection. People trust her because she is genuine, the same in private as she is in public. Her sincerity makes others feel safe to be themselves too, reminding them that they don't need to hide behind masks or chase impossible standards. In a world filled with superficiality, her realness becomes refreshing, grounding, and deeply motivating. A woman like this inspires not by preaching, but by living. She leads through example, not pressure. When life becomes challenging, she handles it with quiet resilience rather than dramatic reactions. She navigates difficulties with grace, showing others that strength does not always need to be loud or aggressive. Her ability to remain calm under pressure, optimistic during struggles, and compassionate even when she is tired becomes a silent lesson for those around her. People watch how she carries herself and think, if she can do it, maybe I can too. That is the power of her presence. She inspires others through the way she treats people. She listens attentively, speaks thoughtfully, and responds with empathy. Her kindness is consistent, not selective or conditional. She gives respect effortlessly, regardless of someone's status or background. Her warmth creates an environment where people feel heard and valued. Often individuals leave a conversation with her feeling lighter, more hopeful, and more confident than before. She doesn't just speak to others, she uplifts them. Her courage also becomes a source of inspiration. She is not afraid to chase her dreams, even when they seem distant or difficult. She is willing to start from zero, willing to fail, and willing to try again. Her determination reminds others that dreams require persistence, not perfection. She does not give up easily. When life pushes her down, she rises with a renewed sense of purpose. This unwavering spirit encourages others to pursue their own aspirations with similar bravery. She inspires through her growth. She does not remain stagnant or cling to outdated versions of herself. Instead, she evolves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. She learns from her past instead of being trapped by it. She invests in her personal development, whether through reading, reflection, prayer, or meaningful conversations. Her growth is evident in her perspective, her decisions, and her ability to handle life more wisely over time. People see her transformation and feel hopeful about their own potential for change. What makes her influence so profound is that she doesn't force it. She doesn't tell people how to live. She simply lives with integrity, compassion, and purpose. Her actions speak louder than lectures. She understands that true inspiration is not about dominating others with opinions, but about encouraging them through example. Her life becomes a gentle reminder that strength can be soft, that kindness has power, and that authenticity shines brighter than anything artificial. People admire her not because she is perfect, but because she is real. Not because she is flawless, but because she embraces her flaws with humility. Not because she never falls, but because she always rises. And in her journey, filled with growth, patience, courage, and love, others find pieces of their own strength. Let me close by saying, a blessed woman is not defined by what she owns, but by who she becomes. Keep your faith strong, your heart pure, and your spirit unbreakable. Because God doesn't just bless women like you, He works through women like you. Thank you.